Welcome to the video, guys. This is your boy Dreamer Joseph, and today I want to talk to you about getting better faster. So I have about 6 tips or so that's gonna help you get better faster, just with skateboarding in general. And while you learn tricks and everything, it's gonna just kind of aid in the process. Without further ado, how you guys doing today? Like I said, I'm Dreamer Joseph. I'm doing great today. But how you guys doing? Before we get started, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, anything that you would want to see in a future video. If this just doesn't solve everything, but go ahead and do all that, all the YouTube stuff, all that action. And then let's get into it. Yeah. Number 1, tic-tacs and manuals. Tic-tacs and manuals are going to be like your base of kind of being on a board without doing much, but still doing something. Tic-tacs, just going back and forth, sliding back and forth, sliding back and forth, and just tapping your front trucks onto the ground. That's really it. After that, you go on to manuals, which you try to hold for as long as you can, and then you lay it back down without falling off. You don't really want to lean a whole lot, but make sure that you bend your knees and that you get a nice kind of sweet spot that you find right over that back wheel or front wheel if you do nose manuals, if you want to go ahead and advance to that. But as you do both, you'll start to get this sense of, okay, this is the spot where I need to be, or this is how I need to do this every single time. But once you start getting into the habit of doing it more often and you practice it more often, you find the sweet spot sooner and better, for that matter. Step number 2, basically learning to ride with one foot. And I don't mean riding with one foot in the sense of, oh, I'm just gonna ride the board literally with one foot. No, but everything that you do, anytime you push, anytime that you are jumping from the board back onto the board, 9 times out of 10 your feet don't land exactly at the same time, so you have to kind of balance on one foot. If you push, you have to balance on one foot. That's just the nature of the situation. Much like running, at one point in time you're on one foot. That's just what it is. So learn to balance on one foot. And you can do this by just rolling around and kind of lifting your foot off of the board, or you can just push and then keep your foot off before you put it back on and kind of holding it off for a longer extended period of time than you normally would as you push. This just helps you get an overall better generalization of balance on your board. All right, step number 3, riding switch and fakie. Now, most people will tell you that they are not going to ride switch. I don't know why. I guess it's just awkward. I have no idea. Personally, I would recommend riding switch, as it's only going to help you in the long run. So riding fakie as well, because it's riding backwards, and anytime that you're gonna be like in a bowl or in a quarter pipe, mini ramp, anything like that, you have a very high likelihood of riding fakie down the ramp. Riding switch, basically the same thing as riding fakie, but obviously you're the other way around. But also, if you ever do like sex changes, or if you do switch tricks at all, anything dealing with riding the opposite way, 180s, either way, it doesn't matter, like anything at all, you're gonna need to have balance going the opposite way. One of the things that really helped me, especially when I first started out, was riding switch. Also, an unfortunate event happened. I broke my leg, so I couldn't, when I first started coming back into the sport, I couldn't push off of my right foot, and I ride regular. So yeah, didn't really work out for me. I had to switch. I had to ride switch the entire time, at least for the first probably like month or 2, to really get back comfortable. As I rode switch, it only made me better because I got an experience of riding the opposite way, but also my balance got better just in general because I was riding the opposite way. I was strengthening muscles the opposite way. Then I went back and started skating how I normally would skate, and it only made it better. It made it easier to learn and to relearn, for that matter, to relearn tricks and to do them with even better execution, because now I could balance fully on the board. I wasn't limited to one side. And you never want to be limited. It doesn't make sense to be limited. Tip number 4. Do everything. Anything that you want to see, that you want to see yourself do, anything you're trying to do on camera, anything that you're trying to do in front of people, anything that you're trying to do by yourself, do everything with the intent of landing. I cannot say enough. If you don't think you can land it, you won't land it. But if you think you can land it, if you know you can land it, if you're going to land it, if you say, I'm going to land this, then the odds of you landing it shoot way up, as opposed to not landing it at all or not even being close to landing. When you learn new tricks, there's a lot of times, especially as you get better over time, and as you balance more, as you get more comfortable on your board, there's going to be a high likelihood there that you're going to try something 2-3 times maybe, and you're going to land it like that, just because you're so comfortable on the board. But if you never had the intent of landing it, you can try the same thing and do the same thing with the trick that may be going the opposite way, and you won't land it probably for another 6 months, because you say in your head, I can't land this, I can't land this. If you say you can land it, you will land it. Say that you can land it and you will land it. I'm telling you, it works seamlessly. Say that you can land it. Now, you may not land it exactly that next try, but I guarantee that if you continue to push on and continue to push through, it will be a lot shorter period of time versus you saying that you can't land it for the next 6 to 8 months, and then all of a sudden you may be able to pull it out in the 9th month. It doesn't work to say that you can. Only say that you can. Tip number 5. This is one of the things that is most important, I feel, when you go to skate parks, or if you go street skating, anything that deals with being out with people and knowing where you need to go, when you need to go. Finding your turn radius. And I don't mean it like, you know, oh, I can turn, 180 degrees, like literally. But finding your turn radius. On my board, right here. Obviously, it's not the, it's not a poster board, but Sector 9, shout out Sector 9. This is a cruiser board. There are riser paths. My turn radius is going to be a lot higher on this board as compared to somebody that's just riding on a regular stock popsicle shaped skateboard with no riser pads at all, nothing. My radius of turning is way higher because I can lean a lot more. On top of that, I'm not really a light person. I'm like 180 pounds. So if I lean on my board, it's going to move to whichever side I'm leaning to, and it's going to move quickly to that side. Especially, like I said, again, since it's a cruiser. There are big wheels on here. It'll grip the ground. I can keep on turning, and I won't slip out. My turn radius is very acute. I can turn on a dime. If I get low to the ground, I can turn even more. So find your turn radius. Find your turn radius. It is the most important thing, especially if you go to a park and you need to like weave in and out of people. If you're out street skating and you have to turn corners really quickly, you have people that are coming out in front of you, cars that may be coming past. Be safe, but also know your turn radius and know when and where you can turn, how much you can turn, because you don't want the board to slip from under you and get hurt. That's no good, right? Also, sweet spots. So sweet spots are another part of the aspect of that, because you can have sweet spots on your board that are better for doing certain things than not. You want to find these sweet spots as soon as possible and then execute on them as much as possible. So for an example, your ollies. If your ollies are always, your foot is a little behind the bolts, and then, your back foot is just right on the tail, right in the middle of the tail. If that's your sweet spot, hit it every single time. Every single time. That is the only way that you can really get your pop. Because because everybody's going to be kind of different. Some people may have their foot back a little bit more, some people have their foot a little more forward, depending on who you are. But find your sweet spots, because if you're, like I said again, out street skating, you need the highest pop possible to get over something. You know, you don't want to look like a poser in front of, you know, whoever. If that's what you do, then go ahead and find your sweet spots. Find them while you skate by yourself. Find them while you're around your friends. So that way, if you do go out, you don't mess up in front of, you know, a lot of people that you don't know, or you don't, you know. It just makes sense. Find your sweet spots. And then lastly, guys, my personal recommendation. For one, it looks good on camera, but also you will get extremely better, extremely fast, no pun intended, when you skate fast. And I don't mean, you know, bomb a hill, but skate a little above your comfort zone. If something feels a little too fast, skate that fast more often, because it'll only help you develop the skills faster. So I may feel comfortable going 10 miles an hour. You may not know what 10 miles an hour exactly feels like, but if you get next to somebody that's on like one of the little scooter things, they go about 10 miles an hour. So you may feel comfortable doing any trick at 10 miles an hour. Well, my recommendation is to go 12 or 15 miles an hour. Because if you go 12 or 15 miles an hour, you all of a sudden can do a lot more, a lot faster. So if you can do ollies at 10 miles an hour, if you can do kickflip at 10 miles an hour, I don't know what else, shove it, you can do shove it at 10 miles an hour, try doing it at 15. Don't hurt yourself. But, you know, if you fall, it's okay. So do things with a little more expedience, and that way your body becomes acclimated to it faster. You can do tricks faster now. Now you can actually be bombing a hill, and you can do an ollie if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to do a stair set, or you want to go over, you know, a certain gap, but you need the speed. You know, a lot of people don't really take a lot of that stuff into account, is the amount of speed that you have to do certain tricks. If you go to a park and you're trying to go up an A-frame or go, you know, onto a rail, you need speed for this. So being able to do tricks at speed, being able to do things while you're moving, while you're in motion, that's going to be the next step into doing everything else with speed. You know, doing everything with speed, and also being intentional when you do things at speed. Because you can do a trick normally, and it's amazing. You know, you found a sweet spot when you do your ollies, and you do it every single time perfect. But if you don't do it with speed, you'll never get past the point of doing it standing still in place, or wherever you're at, or just the 3 or 4 miles an hour that you're going. You can't get it more than that past just a brisk roll. So being able to do it, you know, while you're going 10, 15 miles an hour, up a stair set or down a stair set for that matter, it may work out a lot better for whatever you're trying to achieve. You may want a video, but you can't shoot the video because you can't skate with speed. You know, so take it for what it is, but it only helps you in the long run. Those have been my 6 tips on how to get better at skating fast, you know, just in general. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely let me know what you want to see next. I have boards that are on the way. They will be here, I believe, by the time, well, I don't know. It'll probably be after this video goes up, but it'll be in the next video should be the boards. If not, then I'll do something else. But with that being said, please guys, enjoy your afternoon, morning, night, whenever you get the chance to watch this. And it has been your boy Dreamer Joseph. Guys, keep dreaming, keep making your thoughts bigger, keep making your plans bigger. You know, nobody else has to believe what you're doing, as long as you believe it. That's the only thing that really matters. Please just do your thing with excellence, land with intent, do your jobs with intent, do your roles with intent, and keep on dreaming, man. Keep on pursuing it. It's gonna happen. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep dreaming.